Hey there YouTube, Travis here. So good news, the work on the 1979 Puch Maxi 2 is finally finished. This moped needed quite a bit of love, but it's now at a pretty good place where it can be a good loaner bike or just a nice stalker. It'll probably get sold, as I'll talk about here in a minute, but just for you viewers who aren't aware, we'll go ahead and do a quick overview of what work this bike needed. So first, engine side. The engine, it was just stuck from sitting, so a few gentle taps with a wooden dowel rod got that freed up and a little bit of penetrating oil. Probably the most labor-intensive thing was changing out the pucks. So they're called shift dampeners, and I got a set of nice aftermarket ones. Pretty much the way I understand it, at least, is that if a bike has been sitting a long time, we're talking about the 2-speed version here, the ZA50 offered in the US. The bike has been sitting for a long time. These shift dampeners have a tendency to dry out if they're not constantly in an oil bath. So my roommate Will and I, we tore into this thing, and if I have any footage I'll try and get it up here. I tried to make a video out of it, but it ended up being too nuanced for us, and the video wasn't quite going so smoothly, but if I ever get another one of these, we'll be more than ready for it. So got in there, threw in some new shift dampeners, everything else looked great, even scored an aftermarket fill plug up there because the old one was all plastic and brittle. So got new tires, front and rear, and tubes. I opted for Sava tires, and I really like them. They went on easy and they feel really good. Repacked the wheel bearings front and rear. That was the subject of a YouTube video. The gas tank had a little bit of old fuel in it, as you guys saw. It wasn't the end of the world. I ended up opting for a vinegar treatment for this one. As someone who's derusted a lot of tanks and used acids, liners, this was my first time trying vinegar. I used the exact instructions on the Moped Army Wiki with salt and vinegar, and then finishing up afterwards with rubbing alcohol, 90%. And I have to say, I'm really coming to like the adage of less is more, where you have to use the least abrasive method for cleaning out a tank. So we did a vinegar treatment, it took about a week, and I haven't had any problems since. Of course, I ran a fuel line and filter. It's not too bad in there. Also, rebuilt the carburetor. That was the carb shown in my new Rebuild a Bing carburetor video. That's got new float, needle, and some gaskets, so that's doing good. And honestly, other than that, it didn't need too much, and I'm really satisfied. I was going to make a first start video, but it just fired right up like it was nothing. We'll start it up here in a second. Okay, so this sucker is cold. I mean, it's been sitting all day. So fuel on, we'll use choke, switch to run, or switch to fun, as my friend keeps inappropriately calling it. There we go. After it warms up, maybe in another 10 seconds or so, yeah, it usually holds that idle really well. It's just a nice, solid running bike. Now, when I get it out here with the GoPro in a second, with this speedometer, it usually likes to shift between 10 and 15. And honestly, ZA50s are interesting. It's a interesting little bird. I like it. All right, well, enough talk, YouTube. Let's get out there. Okay, YouTube, well, until next time.